On the heading?
No,
Oh, 720 degrees. So 360 one way and then roll out.
Okay.
So on your rollout, you're in a 45-degree bank.
Okay.
You're going to roll 90 degrees because you're going to go 45 level and then another 45.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a 90-degree bank that you'll make. All right?
Yeah.
Fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I lose some. Shoot. Okay.
Go to the right first?
Yeah, right first.
Okay. All right, so right away you're going to add a little bit of power and add that back pressure, remember? And then 2 turns on the trim. And don't forget your right rudder.
Okay.
Okay, so a little bit more back pressure. You're holding it well.
Yeah.
If we were just a little more aggressive right in the beginning, then we would be holding that up 5,500 the whole time. Because look, you're doing this. Okay, oop, there's our turn.
Oh,
back there.
I won.
All right, yeah.
Damn.
So we're looking outside for our roads. Oh, there's our wake. Good job, you hit our wake. All right, so we're pitched down quite a bit. Let's start. We got to add that back pressure.
Okay.
A little more back pressure.
4.
And do you already have the trim set in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Little bit of right rudder. Just enough to keep that ball centered.
Oh.
Okay, there's our road that
Okay.
and start your rollout. So in a steep turn, your bank angle, you'll begin your rollout half of your bank angle. So about 200 and, or sorry, about 292. If you want to roll out on 270, you're going to start about 25 degrees before. You also, the more you practice it, the more you can just look outside and see where to roll out. Okay, that was nice. Let's go ahead and bring power. Actually, you're fine on power. Let's do that again, okay?
Okay.
And this time, right away, I want you to go ahead and remember that back pressure so we don't get 200 feet low. You did fine then. You held it, but we'll try to maintain that altitude the whole time, okay?
Yep. Okay. Oh. Rather more.
Okay, that's a little steeper than.
Okay. Oh.
There's your 45.
Oh.
That's nice, just right where that horizon's hitting the, just hold that there, and then that means that you're not descending or climbing. Okay, there's our road.
I forgot again. I'm crying.
Hey, if you steepen that bank, it's going to help you lose that altitude.
Yeah, current area traffic, Powerline helicopter, 3 trip off Delta's parking ramp, going to be lifting. Taking off to the north of the southwest.
Hey, start out.
Hold
that back pressure.
30 full stop northwest.
Little steeper bank.
Okay.
Little steeper bank. That's 45.
Okay.
Okay, the steeper the bank, the more the back pressure, right?
Yeah.
There's our heading. Roll out, level off. I say level off because we had all that back pressure, right? So we're gonna push the yoke forward.
Okay.
All right, good, you hit your wake on that time. And then of course, reset your trim and all of that good stuff. All right, let's head to the west. I'm gonna have you do that again. This time I'm gonna have you go to the left turn first.
Okay.
and see if that's easier for you. You did a pretty nice job, okay? You weren't that far off on your altitude at all. But let's just see. We'll do a clearing turn to the north. And we'll go ahead and we'll start the maneuver from the north, okay?
Yep.
Okay, good job checking your wing. I don't know why this takes from the left so much.
Oh. So, how many times do you radio call we are maneuvering?
Probably every 10 minutes, maybe. It's more when there's a lot of traffic in the area, because most people flying through here are not monitoring Kearney.
Okay.
So we could make a radio call right now and just tell people we are 10 what are we? 10 miles to the northwest.
Maneuvering at 5,500.
Yeah.
Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 212 Charlie Foxtrot, 10 miles to the northwest, maneuvering at 5,500. Kearney traffic.
Okay. So now let's try it to the left first.
Okay.
We'll do steep turns.
Okay.
And then
Northwest traffic, plus 57 Grove, 105 miles. We're 5 miles to the southwest on 45 left downwind, runway 30, full stop.
Okay, so start adding that back pressure. Yeah. Power, about 200 RPM power. Oh, add some power. Just a little bit of power first.
Power? Oh.
Little steeper. Okay, we're about 30, 40.
Now
There's
it's 45.
Okay.
Roll out.
Yeah, a lot more right rudder.
Oh. You're descending.
Okay, back pressure. So when you add that right rudder, it's helping the tail follow that nose better, but it's also going to make our, gotta add that back pressure, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so if it looks like we're not able to stop our descent, just roll out a little bit and add some back pressure, okay? Just for safety, we don't want to get into a death spiral, right? All right. Okay, let's try that. Let's try that one more time, because I know I've seen you do really nice ones. In fact, the first two were pretty good.
Okay.
All right, so this time, let's stay at 5,200, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna do the maneuver at 5,200, and roll into your turn. Add about 200 RPM, just a little bit of power, back pressure, and then 2 turns. Okay. So as you're rolling into your 45 degrees, maybe about halfway there, just add a little bit of power and start adding that back pressure. Okay. Or if it's easier, just as you roll in, add a little bit of back pressure, 200 RPM, hold that 45, and then once you're at 45, put turn that trim wheel about 2 times to help hold your attitude, and then just monitor, okay? And then keep that spot right on your windscreen. Right on this glare shield. Wherever it is, if you start to see it move on here, you know you're going to be losing altitude or gaining altitude, okay? All right.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Maintain 5,400. Oh, really?
So roll into your 45 a little bit faster. That way you can start putting that power in and back pressure right away. Okay? And then a little bit of power, and then two turns on the, just to help you out with back pressure. Okay, so we know we have 90 degrees to go before we roll out, right?
Okay.
Now we're at 45. 25.
Okay.
Right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Right rudder. I can tell when you're not using right rudder just by looking out the window. There you go. You just put right rudder in. You don't even really have to do much with your hands. It wants to turn.
Okay.
There you go. And then push the nose down to level. Okay. All right. I think that was a lot better. Just be sure you use your power,
Okay.
your back pressure, but most importantly, I want you to really pay attention. It's one thing if we're off by 100 feet or 200 feet, or if we're at 80 or we're at 100, but this should always be coordinated. Okay, that's probably the most important thing of doing these turns. Really want to be coordinated, because as we're doing 45-degree turns, we're raising that stall speed, right? So then if we're uncoordinated, we automatically go into a spin if we stall, right? So we want to make sure we're super coordinated, but also that is going to help us turn, because right now we're like kind of turning like this. By adding rudder, it's going to make the tail right behind the nose, and it's going to help you in the turn. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's climb up to 5,900 or 5,800. We'll get it kind of off, not a normal altitude. And while you're doing that, let's do a climbing turn to the south. You can turn west. The higher we go, the colder it is, so I'm going to just turn on a little bit of cabin heat. And let's do one more turn to the south, okay?
Okay.
Then we'll level off at 5,900 or 5,800, excuse me. I want kind of an uneven number, or not a normal. And then let's do our cruise checklist, okay?
Okay. Okay, cruise checklist, power, yep, elevator, rather, trim. Okay, set, landing lights.
We can turn our landing off. Let's turn our nav off, but turn our strobe on.
Okay.
Got our beacon,
Yeah, beacon
and our
on.
strobe, okay.
And making sure,
All right, so let's lean it 2 more.
okay,
Actually, let's lean it a little bit more than that. Let's lean it,
more.
yeah. Because we've come up 2,000 more feet, so one more turn. That should be good. We've got an exhaust gas temperature, so we can actually kind of
So it should be dropped to 2,000.
Did you have it at 2,000?
Oh, yeah. 2,100.
Okay. That's probably good right there.
Okay.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get into power on stall. So we're going to slow the aircraft up. So power back to 1,500. Hold this altitude.
Okay.
And we'll let the airspeed just slowly come down to 55 knots. Okay, so we'll continue holding our altitude. Shows our descent a little bit. Okay, keep that right rudder in there. We want to have that ball centered. Okay, we're looking outside, so we notice our nose kind of swing to the left a little. Okay, let's add full power.
Okay.
And go into a stall. Whoops, right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Got to keep that ball centered, okay? Okay, I'm gonna let you do this. Oh, we're gaining too much altitude. We didn't quite stall, so I'm trying to help you hold the nose back.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and let's hold this altitude. We're gonna get set up again, okay?
Yeah.
Power all the way down to 1,500. Let's do a turn to the north.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Anytime you turn, you're gonna need your rudder. Start putting that in. Hey, standard rate, no more than standard rate. Okay, not too much rudder, just enough to center the ball. Okay, let's add some power. Full power. Yeah, there's 55 full power. Okay, right rudder. There's north.
Okay.
Okay. There's our stall. Just
Yeah.
enough to break the stall, and then pitch for VX, and then positive rate. Once we have positive rate, we're away from the ground, we can start pitching for VY.
Yeah.
All right? Okay, let's do one. We'll do one just wings level to the north.
Okay.
Got a little bit of wind pushing us in. That's why I'm having us reposition. Okay, so power back to 1,500.
No flaps?
Not for power on stall.
Okay.
Okay, so flaps stay up, just like we're getting ready to take off.
Oh,
Okay, so power on stall simulates us taking off the runway, just like we're climbing out. That's old 6,200, okay? 6,200, so we gotta pitch up a little bit. Okay, there's 55, full power, keep that. Okay, look at your rudder. Okay, we're eyes outside. We're noticing with our peripheral vision, we can see the outside, okay?
Yep.
Keep it coming, keep it coming. A little bit more. Back pressure. Whoop, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, oop, see how far it can come back? Just start bringing it back nice and easy. It's so close. Just keep it coordinated. Start bringing it back a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more. A little bit more. You have full power in?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, more, because we're not stalling yet.
Okay.
We're just climbing. There's our stall.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. So the longer it takes us to stall in this maneuver, full power,
Yeah.
okay, and then pitch for VY. The longer it takes us, the higher we're gonna climb. And then we're getting to a point where we're just gaining altitude. So we wanna kinda, if we're not pulling back all the way, then we're never gonna stall. And we'll just sit here and continue to climb. So we wanna expedite the maneuver, okay? So we'll just slowly keep pulling back, slowly keep pulling back. We had probably maybe 3 more inches we could have brought the yoke back, okay? So we'll stay, let's go ahead and level off at 6,700. Okay, so let's do a power off stall.
Okay.
We'll just stay on this heading. Okay, so power comes all the way back to 1500. Once we're below 110 knots, we can add 10 degrees of flaps. We're gonna hold this altitude. So already we've started descending, okay? Keep our altitude, otherwise our airspeed's never gonna bleed off. Okay, maintain this heading. So once we're below 110, we want to add 10 degrees of flaps. We're doing a power off stall, so we're coming in for a landing, simulating. We've already lost 100 feet of altitude and we have 0 flaps in. Okay, my controls?
Control.
I'm going to demonstrate for you, just in case you forgot. Okay, so we want to climb up to 6,000. We'll say 6,700, okay?
Yep.
So once we get to 6,700, we're going to level off and hold this altitude. Okay, power back to 1,500. If we're below 110 knots, we can add 10 degrees of flaps. I'm gonna add the flaps. It's gonna balloon up. I'm just gonna slightly let the nose drop. Okay, now we're below 85. We can add 30 degrees one at a time. And then we're gonna pitch over for 65, maintain our altitude, or maintain our heading, and then our altitude 65, and then we'll say that 6,650 is the ground, okay? So I'm gonna pitch over for 65, which is going to put us into a descent. There's the ground right there. I'm gonna hold the throttle out, close the throttle, and then just start pitching back. Pitching back, keeping the ball centered. Okay. Full power. Build that airspeed. Pitch for VX. Okay. Once we get a positive rate, first notch of flaps. Okay. Maintain that positive rate. Pitch for our VY. And then last notch of flaps, okay?
Yep.
So we just keep pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And we want to maintain whatever altitude, just maintain that until you've got set up for a landing, okay?
Yep.
So I'm gonna get us back up to 6,700 here. And then I'm gonna have you do one, okay?
Yep.
All right, so we'll pull power back to about 21. All right, so first thing, your controls?
I have control.
Okay, so first things first, power back to 1500. And then we're below 110 degrees, so you can add 10 degrees of flaps. Okay, be pitching over, try to hold this altitude, don't try not to climb, okay? So we're climbing a little, pitch over. Okay, if we're below 85, second degree of flaps. Okay, our nose is just wandering to the left a little, so keep that altitude, and then another more flaps all the way down. Okay, so we want to maintain north, right?
Yep.
So I see the road out there, our nose is kind of pointed this way. All right, so pitch over for 65, we'll say the ground is 6,600, okay? So 65 knots, 65 knots, 65 knots. Okay. I want to get down, 65 knots. Coming in on final. Okay, 65 knots, we're, yeah,
okay.
There we go. Got to pitch over, pitch down. Okay. All right, so power all the way out, all the way off. All right, just maintain this altitude. And then keep pitching back. Okay, you're letting the nose drop, keep that nose up. There you go. Full power, nose down, nose. You don't want to get into a secondary stall, so we got to nose down till we build that airspeed, okay? Okay, then
Positive.
start pitching for VX.
Okay.
10 degrees of flaps. Positive rate. There we go. All right, keep climbing. Another positive rate. Go ahead and 10 degrees. Okay, and then you can, as we're getting away from the ground, we're gaining altitude, you can pitch for VY. So 75, 70, 75. Okay, and then last notch of flaps, as long as you have positive rate. Okay. Let's do emergency.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna do a engine failure, simulated engine failure. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so my throttle, just the throttle. You have control of the airplane. I'm just gonna pull the throttle on you. Okay. All right. First things first, we want to hold 65 knots. So let's start pitching up.
Oh, pitch up.
Yeah, pitch up for 65, and that's going to help keep us from descending faster. So pitch for 65, use your trim to hold it, and we're going to look for a place to land. All right? Some of these roads have a lot of power lines, so let's just plan for a field. Okay?
Yep.
Now, we want to always land with the rows. Do you see any? Let's see, the wind's coming from in front of us.
Okay. Right there.
Is there something that's maybe...
There's no water system, nothing.
Okay.
Just the ground.
All right, so let's go straight towards it.
Okay.
And we are at 6,500, so we have how many feet? 4,000 feet, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, and how far away is this?
Oh, it's very close.
Very close? Okay.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we will circle over it.
Okay. Maybe under us.
Oh, I think I see
Yeah.
which one.
So
The one that's running.
circling to the left.
Okay, yeah, keep it on your side.
Okay.
That way it's easier for you to set up, because if you keep it on your right, then you may lose it and not be able to see it again. And then, okay, so what we'll do is we're gonna make a 360-degree turn, and we'll try to maintain 65, and we'll see. We're gonna note how much altitude we lose in this turn. Okay. So we started turning at about, was it about 6,200?
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay, so let's just go try to restart the engine. So fuel selector's on both.
Yep.
Fuel shut-off valve is in. Mixture, we would rich it. I'll actually enrich it since we're descending. Okay, so mixture rich. Throttle forward. Come over here.
Okay.
And mags should be on both. All right. Fuel pump on. We could turn the fuel pump on. And then that did not help start. Let's back it up with the checklist, okay? So then we pull out the checklist. Whoops, as I tear it. Okay. So then we pull out the checklist. Engine failure en route. Okay. And our airspeed's a little fast. We want to try to save off as much altitude as we can, right? Until we know for sure that we have our landing. All right, so engine failure en route, airspeed 65, landing site locate, and we're circling over it? Are we over it?
Yeah.
Or are we drifting a little?
Good.
Okay, so it looked like we lost maybe 1,000 feet each turn. So we want to get it set up so we come in for a normal landing.
Okay.
So where we're on downwind, in the pattern we start 1,000 feet high and we go downwind, base, and final. So we lose 1,000 feet just in that little stretch, okay?
Yeah.
So let's get set up. So when we are coming in for a landing, we're going to be downwind 1,000 feet high. All right?
Yeah.
Is it this
Okay.
field right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, wait.
Which field?
Oh. Oh. There is.
Okay, so wherever it is, we want to be right above it,
Oh,
because
maybe-
we're going to set up.
Maybe now we. Oh, it's under us.
Okay, so we're going to get set up for a downwind.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Yeah.
and let's hold 65. I'm just going to clear the throttle. Just to keep the engine warm.
75 knots.
65.
65.
Okay. All right. So we did everything on our checklist. All right.
Okay.
So now we got to shut down. All right. So we would go fuel selector off, fuel shutoff valve, mixture, come over, and ignition can go to the off. And then we're gonna make a radio call 121.5. 121.5 is on there. So we flip over. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Skyhawk 212 Charlie Foxtrot is 8 miles to the northwest of Kearney, descending through 4,800 engine failure, 2 souls on board, okay?
Okay.
And then after we make our radio call, we're just flying straight. I thought we were uh-oh. Now we're missing our point, right? Because we've flown too far away
Yeah.
from it. We may have to find another place to land. All right. So we want to find it. And we want to go straight to it.
Oh.
We don't want to waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
Okay. I see a spot right here.
Oh.
I'm gonna put it off your side. Okay.
Okay.
So let's let's do a turn. I'm gonna actually have you turn this way. Okay. So we're gonna turn. We're 2,000 feet above ground, so I'm gonna have you just keep turning, hold 65. Okay, so I see a brown field, and there's a backup plan just in case that one doesn't work.
Okay.
And we're landing with the corn, or dirt. There's no corn anymore. Okay, so now we are about 1,500 feet above traffic pattern altitude. This is probably gonna work out pretty well for us. Okay, so keep that 65. We're at 70. We're giving away some of our altitude. All right, see this brown field out here?
Yeah.
All right, we're kind of drifting a little.
The one?
There's also another one, so they're both landing. All right, so we probably wouldn't add flaps, so we want to make sure we have the field made. Okay, so let's just go ahead and turn like we're turning base. Okay, the aircraft's secured as far as the engine shut down, but we still have our battery. Okay, so the wind is blowing us a little bit this way. We're gonna land this way.
Okay.
Keep that 65.
The one?
I'm gonna pitch the nose down just real quick so I can show you. Okay, so I was thinking this brown field out here. There's also this one as a backup. There's a farmhouse right there. Okay, so we'd want to go directly to it, holding our 65. And then if we look like we were getting too high, we could go ahead, put in our flaps. I'd rather probably slip it down and add flaps as we know for sure we have it made. All right, so then if it was this field, I picked this one because it kind of looked like it was going to the northwest. Okay, so we would turn. We'd still be holding our 65. We could put our flaps in if we wanted to get down. And then to lose altitude, we could also do a slip, right? So power out, opposite rudder and aileron, and then we could get down a lot faster without too much airspeed. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and recover your throttle.
Okay.
Now let's climb back up and we'll head back to the airport. Okay?
Yep.
So anytime you hear your instructor or examiner or stage check, chief pilot, anytime they say, we're gonna go back to the airport now, that'll be your cue to go ahead and get ATIS and do your before landing checklist, okay? So that's almost like them saying before landing checklist without actually saying it. If we wanted to know how to get to Kearney, we could hit direct.
Okay.
So I'll let you go ahead and push direct. Go ahead and push direct on there. And what that should do, it should actually hit direct, enter, and it just set up a new, it just told you, hold 118. If you hold heading 118, that should take us to Kearney Airport. Okay, so let's do our checklist. Okay.
Which one?
Before landing.
Before landing.
We'll do a combination.
Okay.
Because we did a descent. We just want to make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay. Like cleaning the mixture, or enriching the mixture.
Okay.
So do our descent and before landing.
Descent to how many altitude? How much altitude?
Let's go down to 4,000.
Okay.
I think we're far enough out we can start our descent. Actually, let's go down to 3,100, okay?
Yeah.
3,100. County traffic, Skyhawk 212 Charlie Foxtrot is 6 miles to the northwest, and inbound landing 31, Kearney. I think, I don't